Bonjour, this is Fabulously Delicious, the French food podcast. This is the podcast that's all about the cuisine that is said to have founded modern cooking. French ingredients and dishes have been the starting block for the world's best chefs and cooks. And on Fabulously Delicious, you'll learn all about those dishes and ingredients, as well as get to know more about fabulous French foodies. I'm your host, Andrew Pryor. Enchanté.
Enchanté.
My life changed when I competed on MasterChef Australia, and now I'm living my best life right here in the French countryside. Cooking, eating, meeting wonderful locals, food producers, chefs, home cooks, drinking amazing wines, eating some of the over, would you believe there's more than 1,500 French cheeses? Well, so I've been told. And sharing these fabulous experiences with you, my fabulously delicious audience. I hope you're enjoying them. Today, we're diving deep into a dish that is a true representation, I think, of French comfort food. This creamy, indulgent delight comes from the rural Aubrac region, nestled in the heart of the Massif Central, a volcanic plateau that offers breathtaking landscapes and a rich culinary tradition. So sit back, turn the volume up. If you're not driving, pour yourself a glass of wine, break a baguette, add a bit of saucisson maybe, and some of that delicious cheese if you're lucky to have it. And enjoy today's episode of Fabulously Delicious. Aligot. So what is aligot? It's spelled A-L-I-G-O-T. It's a dish that is a glorious combination of creamy mashed potatoes mixed with garlic, butter, cream, and, most importantly, cheese, or fromage as we call it here in France. Its texture is incredibly elastic, which is why it's earned the affectionate nickname of the friendship ribbon. Imagine gathering with friends and family around the table, pulling spoonfuls of aligot from the pot, watching them stretch in a cheesy embrace. It's a dish that not only warms the belly, but also warms the heart. The name aligot itself is intriguing. It is derived from the Occitan word alicut, which is linked to the Latin term aliquid, meaning something to eat. Now, I apologise for my Latin and Occitan pronunciation, especially with this cold that I've got going on at the moment. But you can hear that in my voice today. Sorry about that. This connection hints at aligot's humble origins. It's a dish made from simple local ingredients, transforming them into something extraordinary. In some interpretations, it's also linked to the old French word harigauteur, which can imply to bind together. A nod maybe to the way the ingredients come together in this dish. Now let's talk about the star of the show, the cheese. Traditionally, cheese used in aligot is the Tome fraiche d'Aubrac, a soft, fresh cheese that is unpasteurized. This cheese is essential for achieving the perfect consistency and flavor. Its creamy, mild nature melts beautifully into the mashed potatoes, contributing to that iconic stretch that you see. But if you can't find Tome fraiche, don't worry. Variations exist that use other cheeses like Cantal or mozzarella. Each will bring its own unique flair to the dish. The quality of cheese, though, is paramount because it significantly affects the final dish. Ideally, you want a cheese that's mild, has a lactic tang to it, isn't overly salty, and melts effortlessly into the mixture. This attention to detail is what elevates aligot from just being merely a side dish to the centerpiece of a meal. To truly appreciate aligot, we need to take a step back in time and explore its historic roots. Aligot was not always the creamy, cheesy delight that we know today. Originally, it was a rustic soup made from broth, pieces of bread, and the Tome fraiche cheese. Its evolution into the dish combining potatoes and cheese is quite fascinating and deeply steeped in legend. There are two prominent stories regarding the origins of aligot, both involving the intriguing number 3 and a trio of bishops, which speaks of the rich folklore of the region. The first tale dates back to 590 AD in the Auvergne region, during a time when King Elias found himself at odds with his wife. Seeking to mend their quarrel, he summoned 3 bishops from nearby regions to mediate their dispute. Each bishop arrived with meagre provisions. One of potatoes, another brought cheese, milk and butter, and the third contributed salt and garlic. As the bishops gathered, their cook, a talented fellow named Ragenwall, was tasked with creating a meal from these humble ingredients. He combined the potatoes, cheese, and other ingredients in a large pot, stirring and mashing them till a harmonious blend emerged. When the bishops tasted this peculiar dish, they were pleasantly surprised. "By Saint Flour, it is not so bad," examined the first bishop. "By Saint Hilaire," said the second, "with a touch of garlic, it is even famous." "By Saint Felix," chimed in the third, "it is rather good." As they savoured the mash, the bishops couldn't help but notice that the more they attempted to divide it with their spoons, the more it stretched and clung to the pot's bottom, creating a captivating visual spectacle apparently. They interpreted this curious turn of events as a sign that this concoction belonged to the high plateaus of Aubrac. But what to name this peculiar creation? After some deliberation, they christened it Aligot, a nod to its garlic flavour and its tendency to bind together. The name reflects the essence of the dish and its connection to the local community. The second origin story unfolds in the 12th century and also involves three bishops who meet for a feast in Aubrac. Each bishop brought a regional specialty. One had bread, another brought cheese, and the third contributed milk and cream. Eager to create a satisfying meal, they enlisted the help of the local brunier, a skilled cheesemaker, to unite their offerings into a single dish. From this collaboration, Aligot was born, symbolising the spirit of cooperation and community that defines the region. As a tribute to this historical meeting, a cross known as the Cross of the Three Bishops was erected in the 13th century at the junction of the three dioceses. This cross serves as a reminder of the origins of Aligot and the connections that bind the communities of Aubrac. As we explore the history of Aligot, we find that it has deep ties to the pilgrimage routes leading to Santiago de Compostela. The monks of Aubrac were known to serve Aligot to the pilgrims crossing the mountain, providing them with a hearty and sustaining meal during their long journey. The dish was more than just food. It was a symbol of hospitality and nourishment for weary travellers. Although the monastery of St. Chery Aubrac was lost during the French Revolution, local farmers who inherited the land from the abbey continued the tradition of serving Aligot to the pilgrims in their summer shelters. This connection to the pilgrimage routes adds a layer of significance to the dish, reminding us that food has the power to bring people together and provide comfort in times of need. Fast forward to the 19th century, and we see a pivotal shift in the ingredients used in Aligot. A poor wheat harvest led to the transition from bread to potatoes in many rural dishes, paving the way for the creamy, cheesy Aligot we enjoy today. This change can be largely attributed to Antoine Augustin Parmentier, a French pharmacist who played a crucial role in promoting the potato. During his imprisonment in a Prussian camp, Parmentier witnessed firsthand the misconceptions surrounding potatoes, as many believed them to be linked to leprosy and the plague. Upon his return to France, he dedicated himself to changing this negative perception. As wheat became scarce, he championed the use of potatoes as a nutritious alternative. His efforts, particularly in the Aubrac Plateau during the early 19th century, greatly influenced the rise of Aligot as a beloved dish. If you adore French food and want to get a greater glimpse into my life as your host, Andrew Pryor, here in France, you won't want to miss out on my Substack newsletter. As a subscriber, you'll gain exclusive access to delicious recipes, insightful reviews, and fascinating information about regional life here in France and my beloved second home, Paris. Whether you choose to join as a free or a paid member, you'll also enjoy several offers only available to my newsletter community. Ready to savor all this goodness? Well then, sign up now via the link in the show notes of this episode, or you can visit andrewpryorfabulously.com. Let's embark on this delicious journey together. Join me for a delightful cooking adventure right here in Montmorillon. You'll stay in our charming 2-bedroom townhouse in the heart of the town, and then it's time to roll up your sleeves and come cook here with me in my own kitchen. Enjoy an authentic French food experience that will tantalise your taste buds and create lasting memories. Ready to savour the flavours of France? Well, check out enterprisefabulously.com for more information on my BN residency. I can't wait to welcome you. Traditionally, Aligot is served alongside hearty dishes like pheasant sausage, Toulouse sausage, or roast pork. The creamy texture and the rich flavour of Aligot perfectly complement these meats, creating a satisfying and comforting meal. The combination of flavours creates a hearty experience that speaks to the rustic roots of the dish. In 2002, an application for an AOP, application d'origine de préféré, was made for Aligot de Aubrac, but unfortunately it was rejected. However, there is still hope for protecting the term Aligot without tying it to a specific geographic origin. This allows chefs and home cooks alike to experiment with variations while still honouring the dish's rich history. While the classic recipe for Aligot is cherished, there are many creative variations to explore. Chefs have begun to experiment with different types of cheeses, resulting in delicious adaptations using Cantal or mozzarella. For those looking to elevate the Aligot, consider adding luxury ingredients like black truffles or even a splash of white wine to an added depth of flavour. Interestingly, there's even a sweet version of Aligot, which features rum and is flambéed for a dramatic presentation. This surprising twist highlights the versatility of Aligot and showcases how traditional dishes can evolve to meet modern taste. Now that we've explored the history and the variations of Aligot, let's dive into how you can recreate this dish in your own kitchen. Making the perfect Aligot requires quality ingredients, starting with the potato. The best varieties to use are floury potatoes, as they yield a light and fluffy texture when mashed. If you're using Tome cheese, ensure that it's fresh, not aged, so it melts beautifully into the potatoes. The freshness of the cheese plays a crucial role in achieving the desired creamy texture. You can also experiment with different cheeses, but be mindful of the flavours and the textures they bring to the dish. A key tip to achieving the ideal texture is to put extra effort into the mixing. The more air you incorporate into the mixture, the more stringy and elastic the final product will be. This is where the fun begins. Here's my tried and true recipe for Aligot. The ingredients you'll need: 1 kilo of potato, a floury variety, 500 grams of Tome cheese or Cantal cheese, 2 garlic cloves, 30 grams of unsalted butter, 100 mils of heavy cream, and salt and pepper to taste. The method? Start by peeling the potatoes and cutting them into large, even pieces. Don't forget to peel the garlic, cut it in half, and remove the germ. Place the potatoes and the garlic in a large pot of cold salted water. Bring to a boil and cook for about 20 minutes or until the potatoes are fork tender. While the potatoes are cooking, cut the cheese into strips to facilitate the melting. The more finely cut, the better. In a separate pan, gently heat the heavy cream and butter together until combined. You want it warm but not boiling. Once the potatoes are cooked, drain them, pass the potatoes and garlic through a potato ricer or a moulin if you have one. This step is crucial for achieving that light, fluffy texture. Add the warm cream and butter mixture to the potatoes along with salt and pepper to taste and mix well until combined. Over a very low heat, gradually incorporate the fresh Tome cheese, stirring constantly in the same direction. The key here is to mix thoroughly, allowing the cheese to melt and combine fully with the potatoes. The goal is to create that wonderful stretchy consistency, so keep mixing it until it's a beautiful ribbony texture. Traditionally, Aligot is served with a red wine from the Auvergne region, which enhances the flavour of the dish beautifully. A good Côte d'Auvergne or a robust Cahors wine pairs exceptionally well with the richness of Aligot. The tannins in the wine cut through the creaminess, creating a delightful balance of flavours. Dreaming of the perfect Paris food experience? Well, my book, Paris, A Fabulous Food Guide to the World's Most Delicious City, is exactly what you need to explore the culinary gems of Paris. From cosy boulangeries to decadent patisseries, bustling markets to hidden wine bars, the guide has all the must-visit spots to make your Paris trip unforgettable. You can grab your copy at andrewpryorfabulously.com and even get a signed and a beautiful gift wrap version. Or if you prefer, it's also available on Amazon, including a Kindle version for instant access. Bon appetit and happy reading. Are you following along with us on Instagram? If not, you're missing out on a treasure trove of fabulous content about French food and life here in France. Join our fabulously delicious community and dive deeper into the flavours, stories and experiences that make French cuisine so special. Follow me now at Andrew Pryor Fabulously on Instagram and Threads to stay connected. Let's explore the culinary wonders of France together. That's it for another episode of Season 4 of Fabulously Delicious. Thank you for listening, and remember, you know what my motto is. Whatever you do, do it fabulously. Merci beaucoup and bon app.